everyone. Welcome to a very special episode 21 of Your Take, My Take by John and Jacob. I'm John.
I'm Jacob.
And today we wanted to run by and give you our takes about one of our favorite subjects. It's the fantasy football running back position. As anyone knows who has ever played fantasy football, the running back position is vital. It's probably the most important position, and especially what we're going to be discussing in the PPR league. And for the people who don't know that, it's points per reception. And running backs nowadays, it's vital that you get a running back who can receive out of the backfield because you rack up points. And nowadays the offenses are geared towards it anyways, where running backs can line up in the slot, can go on the wide, and also can catch out of the backfield. So it's very important that you get one of those type of running backs in your team. If you don't, then you're going to struggle. Yep. So we'll go right into it. We're going to start with a coin flip, and I'll let Jacob call it in there.
Heads. Oh,
it's tails. It's remarkable. All right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to just talk about each. We're going to share who I think are 1 through 10 and also our potential sleepers and busts. And I'll let Jacob go first.
Okay, for number 1, it's pretty obvious. It's Christian McCaffrey. He is the Panthers' best all-around player, I would say. He catches the ball the most. He's like the only running back on the team that gets the most touches. He gets like 20-plus touches every game. He's basically the Panthers. They built their offense around him, so he gets the ball a lot.
Well, I think he would be that way with any team. That's how talented he is. The only way he's not going to be number 1 if he gets injured again. Even when he got injured, he was still a really good running back.
He still averaged like 30 points.
So I think it's pretty universal and pretty unanimous that everyone's number 1, especially in the PPR leagues.
Yep.
So my number 2, Dalvin Cook from the Vikings. Oh, okay. I think. Personally, I like Dalvin Cook better than Christian McCaffrey in terms of their way that they play in running the ball. I think he's probably, besides maybe Derrick Henry, the best pure running back in terms of recognizing, making cuts, going through the hole. He doesn't have the whole offense geared to him, but he is that good, and I really, really like him. I don't really like the Minnesota Vikings, but Dalvin Cook is a great, great running back.
Yes, Dalvin Cook is my number 2 as well. I would say he was number 2 because I would say he's the best pure runner in the league.
Over Derrick Henry?
I think he makes better, he's just a better runner. Derrick Henry's just a lot bigger and more physical, but Dalvin Cook, the only reason he's below Christian McCaffrey is that the offense isn't built around him. They have 2 good receivers that they throw the ball to. But Dalvin Cook still gets a lot of touches and a lot of touchdowns too. So yeah. So for my number 3, I put Alvin Kamara. So this could vary. If Jameis Winston is the starter, then he's the number 3 pick. But if it's Taysom Hill, then he might go down. But it's looking like Jameis Winston's gonna be the starter. But he's like the same as Christian McCaffrey, except they have receivers too, but I like Kamara. He's great. He gets the ball a lot. He gets a lot of touches, and he catches the ball a lot.
So my number 3, it's Alvin Kamara. Ooh. Also, I actually think that Alvin Kamara could be number 1 if Jameis Winston can play well.
Yeah.
I think if he plays well, Jameis is known to wing it, and Alvin Kamara lines up everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I actually think he's actually probably faster than Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey's actually pretty fast, but he's also pretty strong. Yeah. Kamara isn't as strong. He's more of a slasher and it kind of breaks tackles that way. But in terms of, I like him. I like Alvin Kamara a lot. He has potential to be number 1, but he's number 3 in my list too. Oh, so for number 4, I have the big boy Derrick Henry for the Tennessee Titans. If it wasn't PPR, he might be number 1. Just because he carries the ball the most, he gets touchdowns, but he doesn't get receptions, and that hurts him. In terms of in real football, he would be the scariest thing to tackle in the league. I mean, he's 6'4", 250, 260, yep. And he runs like a 4.5. He's an absolute freak. People aren't meant to be that big and that fast, and that's what happens is in the second half, he just wears out teams. I mean, they don't want to tackle him anymore. And so he's number 4 because he's going to rack up a lot of yards. But, he could slip down more because I think they might pass more because they have two great receivers in A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. And so you could see his numbers slip a little bit because they're maybe going to reduce his workload. I don't know. But I still have him at number 4.
Yes, well, that's basically my same reasoning. For number 4, I also have Derrick Henry. For the past 2 years, he's led the league in the most attempts, rushing yards, and rushing touchdowns. The reason that there's 3 people higher than him is not from skill. It's from they all catch the ball decently, or they all catch it more. Derrick Henry is strictly just running the ball. He absolutely bullies everybody, and he gets a ton of touchdowns, so that keeps him afloat with the top-tier guys that catch the ball as well. For number 5, I put Ezekiel Elliott. He plays really well when his team is fully healthy. Last year, when his team was healthy, he played pretty well. And
he fumbled a lot.
Yeah, but last year, when his whole team got hurt, it was basically him. So teams would just stack the box, and they would make sure that Ezekiel Elliott was out of the game. He was also hurt last year, but I think this year he's going to play a lot better because the whole team's healthy again, so that's my reasoning for him.
Well, this is where we start different. At number 5, I have Saquon Barkley the Giants. Most people have him in the top 1 or 2 or 3. I mean, that's how good he is and the potential, because when he plays, he's going to rack up some points. The problem is if he plays, and that's the biggest problem with him. But if he's healthy and can play, watch out. He's going to put some huge numbers up. The problem is he hasn't played for a full season in a long time. But in terms of talent and what he can do with the ball, he can do everything. Mm-hmm. And so he's like a Christian McCaffrey also, or Alvin Kamara, but he just has to stay healthy. And so that's where we differ. I like Ezekiel Elliott, but he's not in the top 5. So, all right, that's where we differ. So my number 6 is Ezekiel Elliott, Zeke.
Oh, that's interesting.
And so I like him too. Again, I like the fact that the Cowboys are starting to pass him the ball. I think when Zeke first came in, they only ran the ball. He was like a mini Derrick Henry. But now they kind of have, the offense is seeing, hey, we need to get the running backs involved in these swing passes and these other passes, the wheel routes and things. And so you'll see Ezekiel Elliott catching the ball more, which then only helps his value. But I'm not sold on Ezekiel. I think he's a head case. I've said it from the time he was at Ohio State. I think everyone from Ohio State is a little bit crazy. And so the fact that he is a little crazy than most of the Ohio State Buckeyes makes me not want to put him in the top 5, and that's why I didn't. Besides the fact that I think they have other weapons that they don't need to exclusively rely on Zeke to carry their offense.
Okay, well, for number 6, I put Austin Eckler.
Whoa!
I think the Chargers are going to play better this year. They have Justin Herbert. He played really well as a rookie.
Austin Eckler.
But here's the thing.
I think you might be the only one who puts Austin Eckler besides his family at number 6.
Okay,
go ahead.
But here's my biggest thing, is that they signed the former Saints offensive coordinator. He is the guy who is credited for making the passes and using Kamara. So I think that he's going to bring that kind of offense to the Chargers, and they're going to use Austin Eckler like they use Kamara, and they have very similar skill sets.
You're using that same analogy you're using about the Saints offensive coordinator or Saints running back coach coming over. It can hurt you because he also is the master of running a 2-set running back where you're Mark Ingram
who
and
is
Kamara.
Who is their other running back on that team?
They have Kelly. They have some other people that are bigger.
Kelly's gone.
And so they have bigger people. And so they're not. Austin Eckler's small.
But wasn't Kamara good with them though?
He was. Yeah. But so was Mark Ingram. So they ran 2 running backs because they saved Kamara, so now he didn't have to run through the tackles. So again, I like Austin Eckler a lot too. I just think 6 is really high. I think a lot of people have him on the outside of 10 looking in. But all right, I agree.
Okay, well, for number 7, I put Saquon Barkley. I'm not sold on Saquon Barkley.
You used to love him, by the way. Yeah,
rookie year, but
and second year.
No, but he's never showed a full season of health. That really concerns me. He is basically the Lamar Jackson of running backs. Once he plays, he's a top 3 player.
Wait, Lamar Jackson plays a lot.
No. But once they perform well.
Oh.
Saquon Barkley never performed.
You're saying he has the talent.
Yeah, he has the talent of.
Okay.
Basically, if he plays, he's a top 3 player. But if he gets hurt, which stats and like things have proven that he probably will get hurt again, he's probably gonna be. He's probably not even gonna be top rated. So I have concerns for Saquon Barkley.
Injury concerns.
Yeah.
Not his ability.
Oh, I also
even with the Giants' really crappy offensive line and the lack of playmakers, he still performs.
Yeah, but they also have a really crappy quarterback, offensive line,
you think Daniel Jones is bad?
Receivers. Yeah, Danny Dimes. But they
don't
don't have any receivers that are great either.
It's true. Kenny Golladay is your favorite player.
I hate Kenny Golladay. He's my least favorite player.
So my number 7, I have Aaron Jones for the Green Bay Packers. A lot of people are sleeping on the Packers. I hate the Packers more than anybody else, but I can't sleep on some of their offensive talent that they have. I mean, they have a great quarterback, a Hall of Fame quarterback. They have they have a great receiver, and their offensive line. The Cheeseheads produce offensive lines. Yeah, so Aaron Jones' only issue is if he stays healthy, and also if he splits carries with A.J. Dillon. If A.J. Dillon comes there and takes his goal line touches, yeah, it's going to render him less attractive. But Aaron Jones is a good running back, and everyone sleeps on him. And so he's number 7 for me. I like Aaron Jones. I probably wouldn't draft him just because I hate the Packers so much, and that would make me watch the Packers, and that's what I don't want to do. But Aaron Jones is a very talented running back, and they also utilize him as a receiving threat too.
Yep.
All right. So we differ on that. So number 8, I don't know if Jacob has this, but I like this guy. I've liked him for a long time, Jonathan Taylor for the Colts. I put him at 8. I think he also has the talent to go higher. He's very versatile. He runs well. He's got the body type of Saquon Barkley. He's fast. He produced big numbers as a rookie last year. His only issue is this: he plays with Carson Wentz.
Yeah, that's a big reason, and that's the only reason.
But that might mean that if Wentz goes out, that they're going to rely on Taylor more, and they might gear up and play him more. I understand they have Marlon Maxwell on their team, and he might steal some carries, but Jonathan Taylor is by far the most talented player on their team, and I think he has potential to be even top 5 if somehow they can utilize him like they utilize Saquon Barkley or Kamara. He's got that much talent. I just don't know if the Colts can put it together. I think they think Wentz is going to go back to his old stuff where he was actually pretty decent, but he's not.
He's not.
So who do you have?
For number 8, I have Aaron Jones. He's a very consistent player. The Packers are going to be the same, and Aaron Jones, he's just really reliable. He never really gets hurt. He's always a top 10 player. He'll always provide you points, and that's all I can say about Aaron Jones.
You see he's consistent and boring?
Yeah, that's basically it. You don't want to watch the Packers game because they're just going to...
To me, Aaron Jones is a very good number 2 running back. Somehow if you can land Aaron Jones as the 2 running back...
Yeah, that's a good one.
Then you would be like, oh, I'm going to win the league.
Yeah.
All right. Who do you have for number 9?
Number 9, I have Nick Chubb. The only reason why
From the Browns?
Yeah, from the Browns. But the only reason why he's not higher is because Kareem Hunt is on that team. He competes. Nick Chubb is very similar to Derrick Henry. They don't catch the ball, but they're both beast. Nick Chubb is shorter but more stocky. He's stocky, but he's really big. He gets a lot of goal line touches, which provides more touchdowns.
Are you sure he got more goal line touches than Kareem Hunt?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because when I was watching the Browns, and I hate the Browns too. Sorry.
When do you watch the Browns?
I've seen the Browns a lot. I'm just saying I've seen that they use Kareem Hunt a lot in that position because he is versatile to be able to catch, and also I like Nick Chubb. I think he's a good runner. Yeah. He's not number 9.
Yes, he is.
He's not number 9 in my list. He's number.
Well, you put Jonathan Taylor at 10, so
no, Jonathan Taylor at 8.
At 8.
Taylor's way better than Chubb. He doesn't have to worry about splitting carries.
When I talk about Taylor, I'll show you guys why you shouldn't.
All right. So my number 9 is, I think he's a little bit high. It's a little bit risky, but it's Antonio Gibson for the Washington Redskins or the Washington football team, whatever that you guys call him now. But here's another guy who's just a pure athlete. He's a pure athlete. Washington should game plan for him. Mm-hmm. That's how talented he is. As a rookie, he showed out. And I'm only thinking he's only get better now. He's bigger. He's probably faster. And now they're going to say, you know what? We didn't utilize him enough as a rookie. We need to utilize him now. I don't want you guys to go ahead and steal my picks because I want to get Gibson. I think he's going to be great.
I'm picking him up.
I think he'll be great, but he has a number, and I also like his style. I like how he plays. I don't like the Redskins very much, but I do think that he is a good, very, very good player, and he has. In a couple of years, we could be talking about him as a top 5, top 3 running back. But I put him at number 9 for right now. All right. Are we at 10?
Yes, you are going to.
All right. Number 10. Number 10, it's a split.
Oh.
Because I think they're very similar players. One's on a good team, one's on a bad team. You can decide which one. So it's Austin Eckler and DeAndre Swift.
Oh, man,
So DeAndre Swift for the Detroit Lions and Eckler for the is it the Chargers?
Yes.
I talked about Eckler. Right? I'll talk about Swift. Swift's biggest issue is the Lions have no other playmakers. 0.
Hawkinson.
Well, he's a big tight end. He's a playmaker. He's not a real playmaker. He's good at getting.
Amon St. Brown.
Yeah, he's a rookie that has never played. And we have Jared Goff, who is awful. And so we're going to rely on him a lot. And I think Swift has the talent. He showed that last year that he can catch out of the backfield and he can also run. It's the question is, can he stay healthy and can the Lions give him room to run? I think the offensive line for the Lions is actually not bad. It's going to be the question of can he perform when there's going to be 9 people looking at him because we won't even cover the receivers. That's how bad the Lions receivers are. But those are my top 10. It's Eckler and Swift pretty much even. And so that's my 10. Who's your 10?
Okay, for number 10, I have Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, why were you making fun of me?
Because the 8 is way too high.
Why is it way too high? It's 2 picks ahead of yours.
I'm still debating Jonathan Taylor. The only reason is his skill. He's really good, but he's in a crappy situation right now. His best offensive lineman, who was usually on the left side, I don't know his name because I don't really care about offensive linemen, but his stats show that when he runs on the left side, he's very efficient, but when he runs on the right side, he's going to be not very efficient. So the only reason is that offensive lineman is supposed to be out for a good amount of time. So if he's gone, then he's going to struggle with running the ball. So he's going to be force-fed with passes, which could be good for PPR. But I just think that there's 9 better players than him right now. But during when that offensive lineman comes back, he might be a top 5 player.
I think as a rookie though, he was already top 10, so he only can go up.
Yeah. Oh, also Marlon Mack's coming back, and
Marlon Mack will have 2 great runs, and he'll be injured for 7 games.
But he'll also take about a few carries, not a ton, but maybe 3 to 4 carries from him. And that also the other guy, Hines, we'll see him a lot.
Yeah.
On those crazy.
Yeah, it's true.
He gets a lot of highlights, but he's not fancy relevant. So. Yeah.
So there's a lot of similar players that I think could be in the top 10. I have Nick Chubb, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, James Robinson. They're all really close to being top 10. And if you can grab those guys as running back too, you're in a good position. If you can somehow get a top 5 running back and then start getting, people like that, those are 2 very good running backs that would support your team pretty much throughout the whole season unless they get hurt. Say, Jacob, who's your potential biggest bust?
Okay, I got 2 of them for you. First one is Saquon Barkley. It might be an obvious one. He's probably the biggest boomer bust of the running backs because if he plays and is not hurt, then he'll be a top 3 player just from his skills and his potential too, because he could go even better. But if he gets hurt, which he has been getting a lot, he'll be gone and won't be relevant. And my other one is going to be DeAndre Swift.
You just said that because he's a Lion.
Just because he's a Lion. I feel like they're just going to, he's the only good player or playmaker on that team. Jamal Williams is there. He signed a fairly big contract, so
how is he going to be a biggest bust when no one has him in top 10?
Well, that's why, because he was.
But he's not a bust then.
He will be a bust. And I also gave you a guy that was in the top 10, Saquon Barkley. Yeah. I just think that Goffel is going to mess up the receivers, and I think DeAndre Swift will be an RB2. So, yeah.
I'll take him as an RB2. If you have him as an RB1, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But so my biggest bust, I'm not going to talk about much, is Saquon Barkley. We already talked about him. His is literally just on injuries. If he stays healthy, he'll be great. If he doesn't, if he gets hurt like he has done the last 2 years, it ruins your team. And there's no way around that. And so he has the biggest bust potential just because of injuries. So my biggest sleeper is, I'll give you 2.
Oh, okay.
1, James Robinson for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I talked about him. He kind of showed out last year. I think he'll only be better. And he's only going to get better because Travis Etienne, whatever his name is, got hurt. Etienne got hurt. So he's going to even get more carries and more touches. So I like him a lot. He was on my team last year. He really picked it up for me. The person I think if you're looking at the deep draft that you could potentially have as an RB2, I mean potentially. This is a big potential. James Conner from the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes,
and the reason why I think that, I'm not sold on Chase Edmonds. I think Chase Edmonds,
too small.
He's too small, and he's a third down back. I think Conner has shown the ability to carry between the tackles, and you know what he's underrated on? He's underrated as a receiver.
Yes.
And he actually, when he came in for Le'Veon Bell, when Le'Veon Bell originally left or held out, he played unbelievable. It was the injuries that eventually got him. But I think if
he's healthier than ever now.
If he's healthy and he's not old, if he's healthy, he could potentially be your RB2.
He could be a steal, yeah.
Or he could be your flex or RB3. That would be a great position to be in. And so I like, and not just because he's a Cardinal, but I think he has potential because I just don't think Chase Edmonds is going to be enough for the Cardinals to rely on him for the run game. And then that's where James Conner comes in.
All right, I'll give you 2 sleepers as well. First one is, I won't talk about him a lot, is Gibson.
He's not a sleeper. He's a top 10.
Well, no, but I think he could go top 3. Just because he's got Fitz magic now.
Highland High boy.
Yes, they've got a better offense. I would say they signed some receivers, and the receivers are getting better. They got Scary Terry, and they signed Curtis Samuel, so they'll spread, so you can't stack him. And this is his second year, and he played amazing as a rookie, so he can only go up from now. Mm-hmm. He's bigger, and I think they'll give him more touches too. My second one is going to be Naji Harris.
Oh, I do like him.
Pittsburgh, they usually run with one running back, like Le'Veon Bell. The past few years that they've had injuries, and they've had to do a committee because there's no good running backs they had. But Naji Harris, he's a big physical running back, and he also can receive the ball. So I think he'll get a lot of use early.
I think Jacob just likes the Alabama running backs. Yes. I'm surprised he put Harris in there for the Patriots because he's also a sleeper. But hey, this is very important.
Yes.
One of the keys is to get running backs. Uh-huh. If you can't get running backs in this league, in the PPR leagues, you're done. You can't run 3 great receivers and think you're going to win. You got to get running backs in there. You got to have running backs. You got to have a legit running back 1, and you should hope and pray that you get a good running back 2. And if you want to win, you got to get a running back 3 that's going to be in the top 12 or 13. Then your team is set. Yes. That's how crucial running backs are. You should take our advice. It's huge to get a running back. And so, hey, we love fantasy football. We could talk about it for hours. But we wanted to give you a breakdown of some of our running backs, so you should keep an eye on, and also our top 10. And like I said, fantasy football is a great season. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of episode 21 of Your Take.
Yes.
My Take by John and Jacob. I'm John.
I'm Jacob.
And I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you guys soon.